Hello, Freddie Simo here. I decided to finally do this video on the Q&A. First off, I wanted to say, yes, I'm wearing glasses. I'm supposed to have been wearing them the whole time, but they were causing a problem with the back of my head that was making it feel like it was like being strained. So I didn't know what was going on, but now it's not doing it, so I'm going to start wearing my glasses. Maybe I can start to see better. But I wrote down all the questions so that I could be able to answer them all. Also, I wanted to say a quick thank you to Miss Murder, who has been extremely helpful in the so far success of my YouTube channel. She's gotten me 22 new subscribers in the past 48 hours. So that's a big thing, and I really appreciate it. And I've sent a few your way too. I didn't want to look at the questions too much ahead of time because I didn't want to, I didn't want to know what I was going to say ahead of time. I just wanted to be able to look at it, see the questions, and then come up with the answers for them. I didn't want to have any influence on, anything going on. So, but they're in no particular order. But first I wanted to say thank you to Miss Murder because my trophy came in the mail today, which is very awesome. And really, being 37 years old, this is literally the first trophy I ever won in my entire life. So this makes it even more special. So thank you for that. I would say you need to go and subscribe to her channel, but about 98% of you already have, because you guys are from there. But I'm going to go ahead and start with the questions and answers real fast. Miss Murder asks, where did you grow up? Where do you live now? What do you like about the place you live in? And what do you dislike about the place you live in? I can actually do all those in one answer and add a little bit extra. It'll be kind of like a biography, I guess. I was originally born in England back in, of course, '83. And my dad and my mom were both in the military. They were in the Air Force. And that's where they met. And so I was born on a military base, RAF Lakenheath. And I moved here to the States in '84. I think I was about a year old or a little under, where we moved to Oklahoma, and we stayed there until August of '87, and then August of '87 we moved here to Illinois, and I lived in South Texarkana from '87 till 2013, and then in 2013 my then fiance, now wife, and I moved in together in Hartford, and we lived there until 2017, and then in 2017 we moved here to East Dalton, where we're living now, and this is where we've been ever since. That's where did I grow up and where did I live now. What do you like about the place that you live in? That was kind of rough. I can do the dislike about the fact that you may hear it in the background. We live across the street from a bar, and there's a lot of fights over there, a lot of arguments. Cops are called all the time. Someone's actually stabbed like 20 times one night out there. So it's a little creepy living this close. So I try to once it gets dark, if anyone knocks on this door, because I'm out on the front porch is my man cave, if anyone knocks on that door, I don't answer it. I just mute whatever I'm doing, and I just sit here and wait until I hear the person leave. It's, I'm looking forward to whenever my wife, my son, and I can, and mother-in-law and I can move here, hopefully soon. Hopefully that answered the question for you. Shaklisi Bro asks, would you ever think about being a vegetarian? No. I have to have my meat. I'm skin and bones. I need some kind of nutrients to get it up there, and red meat's the best thing I can think of. But I tried actually, that's a lie. I have tried being a vegetarian. It was about 15 years ago, I guess. It was a documentary I saw, and I'm like, I'm not eating meat anymore. And for almost a year, I didn't eat any kind of meat. But then, of course, I ended up stopping off at a Steak and Shake, getting a burger, and boom, I've been non-vegetarian ever since. It says, where's the most, Jacqueline Bro also asks, where's the most interesting place you've been? Oh, that one's easy. 1996, Atlanta, Georgia, for the 96 Summer Olympics. That was one of the most interesting things I've ever done. We went to boxing, track and field, and women's volleyball, which I'm pretty sure my dad had a hand in that one, if you catch my drift. And luckily my grandma, who lived there at the time, she sadly passed in 2010, but she lived only a few miles from where the Olympic Games were, so that saved us on hotel. But yeah, the 1996 Summer Olympics in Atlanta were definitely the most interesting place, and a close second would be my 2 trips to Disney World, one in 92, and with my uncle and aunt, my brothers and my cousin, and then about, what was it, 2 or 3 years ago I went, and I was able to go with my dad, my stepmom, my wife, my brother, and luckily I was able to bring my son, and he was 11 to 12 at the time, so he was old enough to be able to appreciate it more. Because whenever I went, I was 9. Yeah, I was 9 years old, and I still remember every single second of it to this day, and it was awesome. Okay, Hot Scorpio Rogue asks, what are your interests? Genealogy is my big one. I've really been into the whole family tree thing. I've only done my dad's side so far. I haven't even started on my mom's side, but on my dad's side alone, we've got people like George Washington, the first president, of course. We've got Colonel Custard, which, kind of sullied the name a little bit. If you're familiar with him, you know why. We've got, I've traced my lineage on my dad's side back to 1690 in Germany, where our family originally was from. And my last name now is Rake, R-A-K-E, but back then it was Reich, R-A-I-K-E. So it's kind of cool to see how, the names changed going back in time. My other interests are jigsaw puzzles. I seem to be a little bit of a master at them for some reason. I guess it's the way my mindset is. I can put a 1,000-piece puzzle together in one night. White Mountain puzzles are my favorite because they have the collages. I love the 90s, I love the 80s, where it's like just a bunch of different pictures of famous things in the 90s and 80s, and they got movies and TV, which Miss Murder knows I love my TV. Let's see, it says, you have a nice voice. Is that an American accent? Yes, and it's also mixed with a little bit of a British accent. Usually it comes out whenever I'm either excited or nervous, is whenever you kind of hear it. Just like my wife, her southern accent comes out whenever she's excited or nervous. But I kind of wish I could bring out my British accent a little bit more because, I've always liked the British accent. I'm really into the BBC shows and all that stuff. Says, tell me a little bit about your life and dreams. My biggest dream is, in my 2 videos ago, I was mentioning I want to be an actor more than anything. I've been stage plays for school. There's a little theater here close by that puts on major productions that I'm thinking about going to and starting a few things there. I'll probably have to just start behind the scenes because that's how a lot of that stuff works, but I'm hoping that I can get into that. A little bit about my life. I think the biggest thing that I've done so far is I auditioned for season 4 of American Idol, and I was never on TV. I didn't make it that far, but I did meet Carrie Underwood before she was famous, and whenever my mom and I were watching it as proof, I even told her whenever Carrie Underwood came on, I said, she has the most beautiful country voice ever. And then she ended up winning the whole thing. The reason why I didn't get to audition more was my friend at the time, he was a a professional voice coach or voice singer, and a voice singing instructor. And he didn't want to go in the first place, but I didn't want to go by myself. So I told him, I begged him to come with me, and finally he did. We slept out on the sidewalk all night, and then finally we got in, got our wristbands and everything. And the way it works with them is, with American Idol, is you audition for one set of judges on the first day, and if you get past that, you audition for another set of judges, and if you get past that, then you audition for the main judges, which was at the time Simon, Paula, and Randy. And before I said judge, I meant producers. Sorry. It's producers, and the next time it's another set of producers, and it's the judges. And I got past the first set of producers, but then they said to come back at 6 a.m. the next morning. If you're not in line, you can't get in. And I called my friend and said, hey, you coming over? We got to get going. He said, sorry, I can't. I have a paper out. I can't make it. And I was all bummed. I ripped off the wristband. I was all upset, and it turned out that the next day, I worked with his aunt up at Pizza Hut at the time. And I said, I just wish I could have gone up there. And she said, why didn't you? And I told her what my friend had said. And she's like, he went, he was there. And I'm like, what? I say, oh yeah, he was there. So I got screwed out of it. But trying to give you a better answer. I battled depression most of my life. I'm overcoming that. Let's see. Well, one thing I can tell you is that the woman I'm married to now, Sarah, I've actually known her since first grade. She and I apparently had something for each other. We had a crush on each other pretty much all through grade school, middle school, and into high school. And both of us were the real shy types, so neither one of us said anything to each other. We only found out like 30 years later that we liked each other. But I remember I was sitting at home one night in 2012. It was July, the end of July 2012, and I was on Facebook, and I'm like, you know what, I'm kind of depressed right now. I had just gotten out of a really toxic relationship, and it was really messing with me. So I got on there, and I was just looking around, and I saw that Sarah was on. So I thought, I wonder if she remembers me or not. So I clicked on her to chat, and I'm like, hey Sarah, it's Fred. I'm not sure if you remember me or not, and this and that, whatever. And then she responded back immediately saying that, yeah, I remember you, how are you, and all that stuff. And like I said, that was the end of July. And on August 10th, we hung out for the first time in all those years. And by the August 24th of 2012, we were dating. And then August 23rd of 2013, I proposed to her by surprise. I surprised her with it because she was expecting me to propose on our 1-year anniversary the next day. And my mom was diagnosed with cancer just 2 months prior. And they didn't know how long she had, and we knew that she had been a part of my twin brother's wedding and my older brother's wedding. And since her and I were the closest, which my brothers would be the first one to tell you that, she really wanted to be a part of mine, wanted to be there for mine to see me get married, because I was the only one of her kids that hasn't gotten married yet. So we decided, instead of waiting a year to get married, we'd do it in 7 months, in March of 2014. And not only was my mom there, but surprisingly, she'd been sick leading up to that week, and the day of the wedding, she was perfectly healthy. I mean, she didn't feel sick, she didn't feel weak, she didn't feel anything, which I'm extremely happy about. And we ended up doing the mother-son dance to Garth Brooks' It's Your Song, because it's a song he wrote for his mom, so I figured that's the perfect one. And I was supposed to make a toast during the wedding, but I kind of got cut off by the DJ. But I told my mom about it later, is that what I told her was we had a lot of great wedding gifts from a whole bunch of different people, which we definitely appreciated. But the greatest wedding gift that we had was the fact that she was able to be there, she was able to be healthy, and that I was able to have that moment with her the Sundance, which my sister-in-law recorded, and I've got it on my Facebook page, and I'll probably feature it in one of my later videos. But yeah, that's one of the cool things. And Sarah and I have now been together 8 years, just past 8 years, and we're going to be celebrating our 7th wedding anniversary in March. So that's a little bit about my life. So Hot Scorpio Rogue also said that I think we are very much influenced by our past, and that can push us to want better for ourselves and our children. I am fascinated by the resilience of humans. That's perfectly put. I couldn't agree anymore. And then I hope I say this right. Remy asked, what made you want to do YouTube? Well, my two biggest inspirations were, of course, number one, Trilogy Media. I've been a big fan of this for a long time, and they've done a lot of inspiration. Had a lot of inspiration on my life. And number two is also Miss Murder. I was watching her videos, and I just that's one of my she's definitely one of my inspirations. So I know you're watching Miss Murder, so thank you. But that's for some reason whenever I went to her channel, I'd never been on the channel before. It was my first time there, and I mean the first day I was there, her and everyone else who was there pretty much like welcomed me with open arms, and it felt like I'd been a part of that channel for ages. And ever since then, I'm happy to hopefully be able to call her a friend, because she's really, really awesome. She's really nice. She's accepting. She's very awesome. So I really, really appreciate everything that she's done with like I said at the beginning, with my subscribers, because I didn't think I'd ever get above 10 subscribers for some reason, because I'm just an ordinary person, but I'm up to over 30 now, and I still see a huge hurdle getting up to the 1K so I could do live streams, but you never know. We can see what happens, but that's pretty much all the questions that I got. What I'm going to do, I'll finish it by saying two things. One is I'm not quite sure what my next video is going to be about, because with the new subscribers now, there's a little bit of added pressure to make sure that I don't disappoint with my videos, because I've been to a few channels where they had some really good videos, and then it kind of started going downhill a little bit, and I just don't want that for my channel. So I'm hoping that I can provide good content. I do have to say I don't have that much. Of course, someone's going to start a motorcycle right now, so that's another thing I don't like, the loud engines that are over there at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. But anyway, it's going to distract me now. Sorry. Most of my videos are probably going to be kind of like this, where it's just me talking, because I don't really have the technical know-how on how to edit videos and put other things up. So hopefully one of these days I might get a little help with that, and maybe I could put out different videos. And the other thing is that this coming week I'm probably not going to be putting anything out, because it's coming up on the 4-year anniversary of my mom's passing, and the week leading up and that day are usually pretty rough for me, and I'm usually not really outgoing during that time. Plus I've been working my little tushy off at work. Of course, like I said before, I work retail, so it's pretty busy with the holidays coming up. So I just wanted to hop on here and answer the questions, and hopefully I answered the questions to your liking, and I'm hoping to do more of these down the road, because I think it's a great way to get to know everybody. And if any of you ever want to do a Q&A or whatever, just let me know, and I'll send you guys a few questions. I have a few brewing in my head right now. But I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been watching, and that I really appreciate everything that everyone is doing for me, especially Miss Murder. And I'll be indebted to you for a while. So you've got a fan, a subscriber in me for for life. So I just want to say thank you to everybody, and I love everybody, and I hope everyone has a nice and safe night.